Hello there, Tom here, and welcome to another Wi-Fi Sheep tech video. This one's being recorded on February the 14th. That's the evening of Valentine's Day, and yet here I am sitting in a darkened room all on my own. But And also joining us on the line from Stafford in North Midlands is Keris Locke. Keris, hello.
Hello.
Hi, how are you doing?
I'm alright, how are you?
I'm very good. Thanks so much for taking time out to join us. We're talking Raspberry Pi.
Yes,
And we're talking the Raspberry Pi Jam. Now, hello everybody, how are you doing? And a very warm welcome to Wi-Fi Sheep right here on YouTube with me, Tom, and a rather special channel update video as we're celebrating getting past 4,000 subscribers. And I just have to say I am humbled beyond belief, and thank you so much for all of you that have supported me and continue to support me by liking and subscribing, for those of you that also join me on Patreon, and for following me on other social media networks such as our Facebook and Twitter pages. The response and just the warm feeling from you all in this community has just been, such a driving force in keeping me going forward. And now, after nearly 5 years on YouTube, we've finally got past 4,000 subscribers. So I guess the first thing to do would be to welcome all the brand new subscribers that have joined us in the beginning of 2022. Welcome and thank you so much for your support and company. Quite a lot we've been doing in the past year or so, and we've got a lot of open projects that we kind of need to bring to an end shortly. So I really am hoping to be finishing with episode 6 of RISC-OS Direct, because that's been going on a little bit longer than I anticipated. Of course, no one was planning we were going to have a pandemic halfway through my projects, so it has put a bit of a gap on things. Also, our ongoing series will be returning shortly, so that will be Tiny Basic Computers, which has been a huge success, much larger than I ever thought it was going to be. And I want to thank you for all of you that have participated in joining us in our 8-bit computer building projects. Also, we will be very shortly, if you haven't seen a video already, we'll be continuing with our C64 series and trying to get a C64 running on a microcontroller, which I wasn't going to plan, put it that way, in the last video, and I'm kind of going to have to try and pull the stops out to see if we can get that back and working. We'll also be continuing with Electronics 010, which is our Tiny Basic Computer spin-off series, where we're building a cartridge for the Pi 400. Not so much for the product itself, but to show the processes of creating a PCB and also ordering a PCB. Which also brings me on to saying a huge personal thank you to our sponsors, those from the past and those who are currently with us, for supporting Wi-Fi Sheep, and more to the point, supporting me. Really does make a huge difference, and it's a huge help to be able to bring in a small revenue stream from what I'm doing. It's not about the money, but obviously if I get paid for what I do, it means I can dedicate more time to doing it. Which actually brings me on to a few updates about what's going on kind of behind the scenes. So I kind of unexpectedly got a new contract for some commercial work over the Christmas period. So that was kind of December 2021. And a company working in the private education sector actually wanted to license and has just licensed tiny basic computers for use with schools and in the classrooms. This has been a huge project and it's very, very exciting, but it has meant it's been taking me off Wi-Fi sheep work to go and do that work, which I'm sure you can understand the pay was very reasonable. And many of you that actually follow me here on the channel will know that I do quite a bit of subcontractor work for other companies and sometimes some other YouTube channels occasionally. So you do see my work or myself pop up on other people's stuff every so often. It does happen. So that's a great project. I'm hoping to actually bring you up to speed a little bit more information about what we've actually been doing with that right here on the channel. So do watch this space, and if I can bring that to you, I will. We're also going to be hoping doing a little bit more with Raspberry Pi, as can you believe it, Raspberry Pi is now 10 years old. It's actually 11 now, but the argument of when did it start, 2011, 2012, but we're at least looking at a decade of Raspberry Pi, and I will be doing a follow-up video with that. We're also waiting with some anticipation to see what's going to happen with Raspberry Pi 5. The other day, the Pi Foundation started making a lot more noise about its 64-bit version of its Raspberry Pi OS Linux Debian distribution. It's not new, the 64-bit version has been around, but it's very interesting that now all of a sudden they want everyone to jump from 32-bit to 64-bit. This, coupled with their business change from being less about education and hobbyists and more about commercial and industrial use, makes me think that there's change in the air and we may be about to see a Raspberry Pi 5 at some point. If this board actually has an ARM chip, or if it's moving over to RISC-V or RISC-V architecture, we're going to have to wait and see. Obviously, as soon as any major concrete news of this drops, that's not just speculation, we'll bring it to you as soon as we can right here on Wi-Fi Sheep. I've also got a multitude of catch-up work to do with other projects and video subjects and all sorts of content planned for the channel that I just haven't had time or have had to push back because other things obviously have happened. Trust me, if you could see the list, it's got some projects now dating over 4 years old that are kind of waiting for me to get around to doing and also to be able to show you here on the channel. So put it this way, we're absolutely not short of any kind of ideas at the moment. So at 4,000 plus subscribers, let's hope we can get up to maybe 10,000. That would be lovely. I have to admit, it's been a slow burn. We've been running for over 5 years now, and it's been a drip feed of subscribers. Not that I'm complaining, because I think the way I run this channel and the way it works isn't the kind of flash in the pan clickbait type content that seems to sort of, you know, YouTubers that come along, do something, get 1 million views, then they're old news tomorrow and they disappear. We're here for the long run. I'm here for the long run, and this is not a cool or fashionable channel. So, you know, and I make no apologies for that. It is, I'm me, this is what we do. And one thing I have learnt though is that you're all here for the content, and a lot of YouTubers seem to make this mistake where they think that they become the personality and people are subscribing for them as a person, and I've never thought like that. So as far as I'm concerned, you see me just as a sort of presenter, a facilitator, and I kind of do the editing and the back office work as well. But the main reason you're here is for the computers, for the content, for the entertainment, for the education value, and that's fine, and I wouldn't want it any other way. It's a huge mistake to think that the person presenting or the channel owner is somehow more important or bigger than the whole reason they were on the platform in the first place. So, and you know, I've never ever taken any of you for granted, and it's a privilege to be able to present content to you. And let's put it this way, you are the most important people in this whole process, because if you weren't there and you weren't watching the content, then this channel simply wouldn't exist and wouldn't be viable to carry on with. So once again, all I can say is hand on heart is thank you so much for your continued support. This is a small channel. It's still a small channel, but you know what? I don't know if I'd want it any other way, in all honesty. It's been fantastic to do the things I've been able to do, meet the people I've met, and be able to take the content I've been doing out on the road. Now, I know COVID kind of cut all that down for about 2 years, but we did get out last year, and it was fantastic to be able to go to a Make Fest over in Preston. It was great that the Stafford Raspberry Pi Jam did restart, and also it's fantastic to meet those of you that did brave coming out to the Cambridge Retro Computing Festival. That was really nice to just be able to engage with you actually on a person face-to-face level again. And I really do enjoy meeting you. So as I've said before, you know, I'm always open for a chat, especially when I'm at these sort of events. Now, the events calendar for this year is still kind of taking shape, but I'm hoping to possibly be in Liverpool around the beginning of July. That's to be confirmed. I'm also hoping to be back at Cambridge for an extended or expanded Retro Computer Festival this year. I haven't got any details on that yet, so just watch this space. In the meantime, if you want to know where I'm roughly going to be exhibiting as Wi-Fi Sheep, or maybe just visiting sometimes, you can find out by visiting events.wifisheep.co.uk. That's events.wifisheep.co.uk, and the website will be updated shortly when I can actually confirm which events we're going to be at. I also really need to thank the people behind the scenes here as well. So Anna and David that do quite a lot of work, admin stuff, sort of pondering ideas, fixing things, buying bits for me occasionally as well when I run out or forget to do what I'm meant to be doing day to day, which does happen. So huge thank you for their continued support behind the scenes. And yeah, so that's just about it. So if you haven't done already and you're watching this for the first time, then welcome to Wi-Fi Sheep. If you just recently subscribed, once again, thank you and welcome as well. If you haven't subscribed, then please do consider subscribing and liking this video. It really does help this channel out. And I hope for another 4 or 5 years of Wi-Fi Sheep and beyond with your company. As always, look after yourselves, and I will see you real soon right here on this channel. Until next time, bye for now.